All right, thanks, James. We begin tonight with the war in Iran, where there are new questions about the status of negotiations as tensions continue to rise around the Strait of Hormuz. Christian Cordero has our coverage in Washington.
Today, new details about how potential negotiations between the U.S. and Iran fell apart in the final hours before the ceasefire was extended. Multiple sources tell ABC News the U.S. sent Iran a list of broad points they hoped Iran would agree to ahead of in-person negotiations. And as time ran out yesterday, the administration didn't get a response. The New York Post reports that in a text exchange, President Trump now suggests talks could resume as soon as Friday, writing, "It's possible," when asked about the potential for such negotiations. In the past several days, the president has also insisted it was highly unlikely he'd agree to extending the ceasefire before doing just that. And Trump has repeatedly threatened to escalate attacks on Iran's infrastructure. The price of a gallon of regular gas is now averaging $4.02 in the U.S. A fifth of the world's global oil supply passes through the Strait of Hormuz, and analysts say gas prices will not come down until traffic resumes as normal. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent today dismissed concerns about the long-term effects.
I think the conflict will end. I think gasoline prices will come back to where they were or perhaps lower as they did. That is path dependent on when the war and the conflict end.
But the tension is only escalating at sea as both the U.S. and Iran assert control over the Strait of Hormuz. Iran firing on 3 ships today, saying it seized 2 of them. The U.S. naval blockade is targeting Iran's economy, preventing ships from entering and leaving Iranian ports. A move Iran's parliament speaker has blasted as bullying, writing on social media, quote, "Reopening the Strait of Hormuz is impossible with such a flagrant breach of the ceasefire." Iran's president on social media today blasted what he called hypocritical empty talk and contradiction, insisting the regime welcomes good faith dialogue. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.